look at some of Catherine the Princess of Wales's fashions recently. I haven't had a chance to look at her state visit outfit. The state dinner was amazing. Just the most ethereal, gorgeous option. But let's start with the Duchess of Kent's funeral mass. Catherine chose to rewear some pieces that we have seen before, which can be a really smart move, especially for something like a funeral. It takes the attention off the wardrobe because it's something that you've seen before. So anytime there's an event where Catherine really wants the focus to not be on her outfit, or she finds the event to be something really important, she often rewears something. You'll see her in repeats on those types of days. If it's someone else's day or some sort of poignant or important event, she does tend to do a rewear, in part because it will make her fashion less of a focus. So it was a respectful choice. This black coat dress is the black version of the red one that she wore for the Together at Christmas concert. And she wore this black one, I believe, for Prince Philip's funeral. And then this 4-strand pearl necklace from Queen Elizabeth is one that she has pulled out anytime there is a funeral or a very significant occasion. She also wore it for one of the coronation events. And pearls are the perfect choice because they symbolize remembrance. So it's always thoughtful touches that really push her outfits over the edge and make them all the more meaningful and perfect. Because when you think about it, Catherine, her photographs are parts of history. And so the fact that she spends time, or her team spends time and prioritizes symbolism and thoughtful touches like those of choosing pearls and things of that nature to convey more meaning is so important. And it does add gravity to her presence there. Let's next take a look at what she wore for her visit to Southport with Prince William. She wore this beautiful soft pink blouse and a gray coat and trousers. They visited some families and they spoke with some children. After hearing some of the children speak about how the artwork reflected their emotions, Catherine said, "It's very unusual for young people to be able to express bad and hard and difficult emotions like you've done, and actually doing it through art is really clever, but really expressive." Very nice, meaningful, thoughtful remarks from her. She debuted a new outerwear look from Jigsaw, their maxi city coat. It's got kind of a chunky lapel, and it's a slightly less tailored look. It's a little bit more of a relaxed look. Certainly a little bit more comfortable for her on a day out and about like this, but as you can see, it still fits perfectly along the shoulder line, so that's preventing it from looking like it's a size too big or overwhelming to her frame because those shoulder seams are in the right place. That's always a giveaway. As soon as the shoulder seams start to look too wide or too big on somebody, it immediately looks like you're swimming in somebody else's jacket that's way too big for you. Also, the sleeve length is also sometimes an important clue as well, but this looks perfect for her. And here she is once again doing a repeat, because remember, the focus of this visit is the Southport tragedy, so re-wearing an item is a great way to signal that the focus shouldn't be on what you're wearing here. This is where her hair color change was first noticed, I believe, which I have a video out about her hair color, the truth about Catherine's hair. So if you missed it, I will link it for you here. On to the state visit. For the welcome ceremony, she wore Emilia Wickstead. This is a perfect example of a tonal outfit. As you can see, we have this gorgeous berry color throughout her hat and coat dress, which are perfectly matching. And then her pumps are either a super, super dark burgundy or are black. And then her purse is the same tone, so it's still that same rich burgundy color, just in a slightly deeper and more muted tone. So it blends perfectly together, all of these, and nothing is clashing because she's not jumping between warm and cool tones here. I love the volume of the coat dress here. It just looks so beautiful and balancing. The movement of those pleats is something that you can't really beat. It always looks so polished and feminine, and it's a little bit more forgiving as well. Because as you can see here, for example, not saying that this outfit is bad, but the pencil skirt is a little bit more stiff and it just doesn't have quite as nice of a flow. So it's really smart for Catherine to pick something that has a little bit more flow so that as she's walking, as you can see here, this just looks more beautiful. It just does, at least in my opinion. And Catherine chose to swap from a thin belt with 3 sets of buttons to just 2 sets of buttons and a wider waistband. And this is a nice choice for her because she does have a very well-defined waist and a slightly longer torso. It allows for for a super skinny belt to not make it look like it's too small compared to her torso. And a third row of buttons would have had to have been even closer together than these were, so they would have looked a little funny. So that was a really good edit. I also appreciate that this lapel stops a little bit higher. It's not super dramatic and low, so it's not too chunky or overwhelming here. And I think it was the perfect choice for this day. And before we get to the state dinner, let's take a look at what she wore for the Scouts engagement with Melania. This was an awesome little trip. It was super cute, super fun, supports her core initiatives, and it just made for some really great pictures. I think this was sweet. It looked like a lot of fun. Melania wore a safari-style Ralph Lauren jacket, khaki trousers, and flats. I think this was a good choice for her. The trousers not being too skinny, not too skinny fit, having that more tapered look where there's a little bit of room was an excellent choice, so she didn't end up looking too top heavy. And the belt on the coat reining in for her waist helped to define her figure. And as you can see, everything fits perfectly. She does get her stuff tailored. Look at that. Now let's take a look at Catherine's outfit. She's wearing a cropped military jacket, a chestnut brown sweater vest, a dark brown tweed skirt, assumed to be Ralph Lauren, that is pleated below the knee and an A-line style, so it has a decent amount of movement to it, and some of her favorite boots. With the boots and the dark greens and the browns, it all flowed together really nicely. It defines her waist perfectly here. The cropped length of the jacket paired up with the belted skirt still define her figure nicely and prevent things from looking overwhelming. Any longer of a jacket would have interfered with the volume of that skirt and made things look really frumpy really fast. So this as an outfit altogether was perfect, and I think she looked really nice for it. But on to the stunning, beautiful, one of the most beautiful and stunning gowns I've ever seen her in, state dinner outfit here. This picture is beautiful. They look so spectacular together. But this was the most regal, stunning moment I have ever seen. Let's first take a quick pause and see what Camilla and Melania wore. I don't love Melania's outfit here. I feel like this dramatic of off the shoulder isn't as classy as it could have been. I don't mind an off the shoulder gown at all, and for a state dinner it's totally fine, but it's the combination of the fabric being so simple and it being a column design with the light yellow, the pastel yellow, and the pale pink together. That combo just feels a little bit more playful. And so that combined with it being off the shoulder makes me feel like it's slightly out of place for this occasion and setting. I think she looks great in it still, defines her waist nicely. I think it's a really cute dress and I would have loved it in a different setting. Like a premiere would have been perfect or something just a little less regal. I mean, we're here with tiaras and stunning gowns. This one just came across a little underwhelming and a little bit out of place in my opinion. Camilla looks lovely. This royal blue is a perfect choice. It goes with her tiara, all the jewels. She does look beautiful here. I really quite like the fluted sleeves or the trumpet sleeves that she has here. Adding a little volume to the sleeves is always a fun way to add a little bit more movement and interest into a garment. And for Camilla, something that is monochrome, meaning no belt or anything like that breaking things up, is best for her figure, and it looks really nice. But Catherine was by far the best dressed of the evening. This is stunning. Never have I seen such a beautiful dress. My gosh, it's gorgeous. This is a couture Philippa Lepley ensemble with a full-length hand-embroidered champagne gold chantilly lace evening coat over a silk crepe gown. Stunning. It's stunning. Oh, you guys will be able to see this coat over a different dress at some point, I bet. It's called the Darling Coat, and it has hand-embroidered roses with couched gold cording accented with French knots, satin-stitched blooms, and slightly puffed shoulders, but not too much, which is smart because if you do too much shoulder added on for Catherine, it can throw her out of balance a little bit. So this was just perfect in every way. The hair is perfect. The makeup is perfect. The tiara and the jewels are perfect. I can't say enough good things. This is fitted to her perfectly as well. As you can see, the sleeves, they don't have a bunch of bunching and room and wrinkling and puckering going on the way Megan did when she had a sheer dress at the Lion King premiere. It looked like she was bulging out of it. This is how you do it right. You can't say enough good things about it. It is absolutely spectacular and stunning. I hope you enjoyed today's fashion edition, and I hope you have a happy day. I'll see you next time. Bye!